All right, so let's talk about the uses and benefits of biochar. Biochar, like I've mentioned, is very porous. It's like a sponge, okay? Micropores, so small that even gases can't always get in. But because it's like a sponge, it does soak up solids, liquids, and gases. Because of that, the biochar makes a perfect home, like a high-rise, for mycorrhizal fungi and microorganisms. Whenever you till the earth or add fertilizer or anything like that and disturb the soil, you kind of break up those microorganisms and bring them to the surface and whatnot. Sometimes that's good, sometimes not so good. But the biochar protects those microorganisms in their habitat. It's interesting when you study the root wads of plants that have been growing in biochar, the root hairs of the plants actually seek out the biochar that is in the soil due to the nutrients and water that is being slowly emitted from those little cubes of biochar. Biochar has such a high surface area that 1 cubic inch of biochar has the same surface area of a football field. Now that's mind-blowing. I can't comprehend how that is possible, but that's the science based on the surface area. If you ever get a chance to look at biochar under a microscope, it looks like honeycomb. It looks like just holes upon holes upon holes, and that's because of the high temperatures at which it is cooked at and the gases that off-gas. During our process, part of it is quenching. So as soon as the biochar comes out of the reactor, it will be quenched, which causes fracturing within the cells, opening up the pores even greater, allowing for more of those tars to be cleaned out of those micropores. Biochar will hold on to nutrients, water, sequester carbon, capture methane as well, and other greenhouse gases. So in some studies, what they've done is they've taken biochar and they feed it to cattle. And what it does is it actually captures a percentage of the methane that the cows would otherwise be passing, and it locks up, making the farms less smelly and reducing the amount of emissions from those farms and from the cows. They also saw increase in weight of the calves that were on the biochar food supplement. Now, I'm not talking a lot. It was only about 5% as a food supplement to their feed, and they saw substantial weight increase in the cows. Biochar can also be used, like I mentioned, in water filtration systems. Biochar can also be used, and it's been studied to strengthen and increase the insulation value of concrete and asphalt, as well as even in drywall. So biochar has a wide variety of uses, but the main use that we are interested in is for soil amendment. In our Salmon Valley, right here in Salmon Arm, farmers use their farming waste, the manure from their cows and from the chicken farms, which is a great fertilizer, and it's done all over the world. However, with that top dressing of fertilizer in the milling and the turning in, you can also get a lot of overland flow where those nutrients can flow into the nearby streams, into Silver Creek or the Salmon River, and then eventually it makes its way to the shoe swap, causing blue-green algae blooms. By using biochar, you can still apply those nutrients and fertilizers to the soil, but instead of running off into the ditches, into the streams with the rain events, it'll actually be pressed down and hold to the soil molecules so the plants have access to those nutrients later in the growing season. That could also reduce the cost of fertilizer because you don't have to do a second application or a third application. In some cases, farmers may apply fertilizer several times throughout the year because their plants need it. Others may do it just because they have a surplus of fertilizer, in this case, manure. But biochar, in essence, will reduce your watering cost and reduce your fertilizing cost and increase your crop yield.